Good evening and welcome to a little late week recap here for SPY and trade plan for tomorrow at the very least. I'm not sure if I'll get a chance to do another video this weekend. I got a lot of stuff going on. But anyways, here on Monday, had a very nice gap down. Beautiful entry here. Took these 11 November 308 calls here. Same day expiration. Got in at 75, reduced here on the way up at 89.94, 90, excuse me, a dollar flat, and then the rest rolled over here at 91. So beautiful entry, beautiful trade. Of course, in hindsight, could have held it much longer and capitalized on a lot more, but that's not the plan for this strategy. So. Very good way to start the week here. End of the day, notice an interesting pattern set up here. So I took these 309.5 calls here overnight at 41. Dipped down a little bit lower into the close. Took some more here at 34. Worked my average down. As you can see, worked out extremely well as we gapped up here onto Tuesday. I added on the break above this opening 5-minute candle. Actually, when price reclaimed the opening price right there and started to climb up with, it seemed like buyers really being willing to take the offer. So I went ahead, I added in here at 47, worked my average up, stalled out here for a minute. Maybe it was me being anxious or whatever, but I took some of that risk off here at 54, took some off at 60, 64, 70, and just worked my way up here. The rest, my overall target, sell target was $1 flat, which I went just a little bit above there, but overall is a tremendously nice trade right there. Once this rolled over, it looked like a bull flag. I took a small position in the 310 calls here at 62. Immediately dumped them once the flag was no longer valid. Tried to catch a nice little bottom down here. These 310 calls again. In here at 78, stopped me out at 75. Tried again here at 36, got out at 32. So a couple of small little losses, gave back a little bit of the gains there. Later in the day, had a bottom trigger that actually, I believe this was not a bottom trigger. I was trading this as a false breakdown here. Got in these 310 calls again here at 20 cents, stopped out at 17. Tried again here, these 308 and halves at, what's that say, 59. That one worked out very, very well. Reduced, took them all off here at 75. And into the end of the day, looked like we were going to do the same thing we did on Monday. So I took a small position in these 15 November 309s. Well, we gapped down, held the low of the day at the very least, added into these, worked my average down, tried to sell some just to take some risk off, and it ended up stopping me out here on the lows. So kind of upset me a little bit, haven't given back as much as I did for the Monday, the way to start off the week. However, just maintained my composure, added in another trade right here, these 309 calls here at 68, reduced some on the initial pop, took some out as it rolled over and trailed me out here. So stayed very positive on the week, very nice trades, and everything seems to have been working out extremely well. I don't have the sell order on these 310s here somewhere. I think if I remember correctly, I got stopped out over here for just above break even, like 156, 155 and a half, something like that. But anyways, this news catalyst stopped me out of those trades. So once that was done, I just kind of hung out, didn't really do anything else. Today, had another gap down, a little bit of a flag set up here, very similar to what happened already 2 days this week. Had a good push up here off of the opening 5, pull back, and break out higher. So I took these 309 calls here, 82. I wanted to try and sell them just over $1, maybe around $1.15 at the prior high. Rolled over before that and stopped me out here at 94. So in hindsight, I could have sold some, I believe, at about $1, but I got a little greedy and didn't take my partial like I normally do. Middle of the day, had a bottom trigger here. I actually tried to front run it and get in a little early. Took these 308 and halves here at 80 cents, and that initial entry stopped me out here at 79. Again, had to maintain my composure. Had the official trigger right here on this inside bar. Got in at 72. Reduced some here at 80 as it started to stall out here a little bit. The rest of them had my target up there at 86. Missed this whole move. Would have been very nice to catch that, but in all honesty, being realistic, there's no way I would have held through this kind of drop into the end of the day. Into the close of today, I actually did end up buying, what was it, the 29 November, well, here we go, 29 November 315 calls. I think I got in at 0.37 or something like that, maybe 3.1, 3.8, somewhere around there. 1 second, I can check. Looks like I got those at 0.38. So I'm holding those overnight. We'll see what happens tomorrow going into Friday. Today was very uneventful, even with the Fed speaking and the impeachment hearings and everything that's going on in the background, the Hong Kong riots, all that stuff. It's very uneventful, which is kind of odd. But going forward into tomorrow, obviously I'm going to be holding those calls. I still want to see something pull back to these moving averages here. Obviously, I've missed a couple of opportunities as far as swing trades, but my triggers have been working out extremely well. And when they work, I'm happy to go ahead and put money into the market and take it out with my profits as quickly as possible. Keep the cash flow running and don't have my risk on for too long at a time. And we are at all-time highs, so it's not the time to be putting in huge amounts of money just to sit in the market, at least not in my opinion. Now, the same levels I always look at. I'm looking at swing entries at these moving averages, but I want to see a significant pullback to them, a little bit of a base, some sideways action, and then start to curl up before I get into those. Until that happens, I'm going to continue to take my little 5-minute triggers, get in and out of the market, and keep making my money the way I know how to do it, quickly, efficiently, and easily with as little stress as possible. Now I want to touch on futures here. I think they are closed for the day. Big breakout over everything. There is absolutely nothing over price. You can start drawing some lines where you just connect a few random highs where you end up having a trend line that goes above you. Maybe you run into something like that. That's not my style. That may be something that does work. May get a small pullback, but as we see in the Apple chart that I posted over last weekend, I believe it was, Apple's ridden that whole trend line all the way up. It provided one pullback. I'll do an Apple video here in a little bit, but it provided one pullback and that was it. So these uptrending lines, they're not resistance. They're not a point to really take huge short positions, at least not in my opinion, not yet. Could be proven wrong at any point in time, but for right now, it's extremely bullish. Held the AEMA here numerous times. Looks like we're going to do it again. Of course, it also looked like we're going to continue to do it back here into the end of 2018 as well, where it just completely broke down and rolled over. We all remember that. But anyways, still staying out very bullish on the overall market as far as direction and trend. But I'm not putting a lot of money into these positions, just continuing to keep the cash flow moving, and we'll see what happens going into the end of the day. On to XLF here. I do have an order in here to sell some calls. I just want to touch on financials here. They are about to reclaim this green line, which is the weekly open after a nice breakout. It is an inside week, so I'm assuming tomorrow that this is going to resolve itself and not close in this manner. Of course it could. It's already open and closing right exactly where at the same price, excuse me. So it's got to do something. We have one more day tomorrow. If it does not go up and it starts to roll over, this is going to be a drag on the market as long as as well as the Qs. Now the Qs did look like they were rolling over early in the day, but as they broke out of this little bit of a trend, we've had these patterns repeat numerous times over and over again over the last couple weeks here. We come up and put in some top and it breaks higher. We put in a top and it breaks higher, top and it breaks higher. Now these tops, quote unquote tops, are getting closer and closer together. So price action is getting a little more compressed. Maybe we do have a significant pullback or a dip, which in my opinion, is still going to be a buying opportunity unless there's some negative news comes out of the market. Now, if you're one of these gurus out here saying the market's a Ponzi scheme, it's all rigged, all this nonsense, look, man, you can keep saying it for years, but you have to acknowledge at the same time you're saying the same thing over and over and over again. Flip your bias, go with what the market is doing, and it's much easier. So with that said, I hope everybody has a good evening and an excellent weekend. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Good luck tomorrow.